Mexico has taken, over a period of 30 years, 34% of the automobile manufacturing business in our country. Think of it, went to Mexico. China now is building a couple of massive plants where they're going to build the cars in Mexico and they think that they're going to sell those cars into the United States with no tax at the border. Let me tell you something to China. If you're listening, President Xi, and you and I are friends, but he understands the way I deal, those big monster car manufacturing plants that you're building in Mexico right now, and you think you're going to get that, you're going to not hire Americans, and you're going to sell the cars to us. Now, we're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line, and you're not going to be able to sell those cars. If I get elected, now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole, that's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it.
What's going on, guys? So I got to talk to you about Based Scott Jennings, okay? He eviscerates and completely annihilates his own network, really, as a bunch of his colleagues. He's like, y'all stupid, and you keep spouting off lies, because it's absolutely true. The folks over at CNN, the woke behind anchors, including Abby Phillip, Dana Trash, as well as Fake Tapper, all these folks, along with a bunch of other woke leftists that they have on these ridiculous panels, frequently spout off lies, including the bloodbath hoax. Okay, so I played the clip right at the beginning of the video so that no one who even accidentally clicks this video could feign ignorance and say, well, Trump did say he meant that he... No. Don't be talking about what Trump meant. Focus on what he said. There's no innuendos. There's no dog whistles. There's only made up bullshit. Okay, that is the truth. You made it up. Okay, anybody who spouts off this bloodbath hoax is either one, making it up, or two, has a pea brain. And the reason that this is a problem is because obviously President Donald Trump nearly got killed twice, at least, that we know about. Okay, 2 separate occasions he's had assassination attempts against his life by people that have been radicalized by the tyrannical left. Okay, the fake news, the lies of people like Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, among many others. Now, quickly here, I'm going to show you exactly what Kamala Harris recently said during the debate, because even when faced with Donald Trump, she still chose to try to lie and gaslight the American people directly to his face, as well as in the face of millions of Americans.
On that point, Donald Trump, the candidate, has said in this election there will be a bloodbath if this and the outcome of this election is not to his liking.
Now, again, you saw the clip at the beginning, so you already know this was not true. This nonsense that he said it's going to be a bloodbath if he doesn't win this election. He never said that. He said there's going to be a bloodbath in terms of the economics for auto workers. If somebody makes a complete sentence or statement and you take one part of it and make it to mean something else, it's not a misleading statement. It's a lie. Okay, that doesn't make any sense at all. It's like if somebody's gonna take a test for school and they say, I'm gonna kill it, and then you take out the part where they say, I'm gonna kill. This person said they're gonna kill. They're gonna kill. Guys, I'm going to kill it, as in the test. You see how stupid these people are? You can't take the first little teeny tiny part of a statement or somewhere right in the middle. You remove everything before, remove everything afterward. Is lying and is disingenuous. And Scott has something to say about that.
Underpinning of her campaign, I mean, she repeats it herself. Trump will be a dictator on day one. I mean, this country fights dictators. That's what our history is. We fight dictators.
Didn't he say that?
He'll be a dictator.
Those were his words.
There'll be a bloodbath. There'll be a bloodbath.
That there would be a bloodbath.
He wants to terminate the U.S. Constitution.
She didn't say that there would be.
The first thing she said, which was true, and the second thing
it is said by every Democrat working for or around her campaign every day on this network and every other one. The bloodbath thing is stated every single day.
Okay, let me
but my point is, dictator, bloodbath, eliminate Constitution.
Hold on.
What do you think?
Just to clear this up, you're referring to Trump's use of the word bloodbath when he was talking.
And what was he talking about?
I'm going to explain it to people because I think there's confusion about this. Use of the word bloodbath when he was talking about, vehicle manufacturing jobs in the United States. Vice President Harris improperly and unfairly mischaracterized that as him saying there would be a bloodbath if he were elected. However, she did not say that if Trump were elected, there would be a bloodbath. She did not say that.
I know you have interviewed and had people out here and have watched the same coverage I have. The bloodbath garbage is it is a pillar of the Democratic campaign against Trump, as is dictator, as is eliminate the U.S. Constitution.
Dictator stuff is true.
If I told you,
do you feel the need to?
But if I told you all that about somebody,
do
you would
what
say
Trump
maybe
is
this
doing, which is to sort of blame Democrats instead of saying, oh yeah, maybe actually both of these guys are screwing up.
I feel
which
the
is
need,
sort of what I think the rest of us are saying.
I feel the need to tell you all tonight that we can't even talk about the rhetoric moving forward because it's too late.
No,
so many people, like for Trump, it's too late. He can't even go outside.
You know, when these things happen, and they're happening to Trump, they've happened twice, there is a lot of demands for Trump and Republicans to take responsibility for what's happening to Donald Trump. But what I never hear is Democrats being asked to take responsibility for all of the radicalization of their political base over the last several months and several years. I mean, Harris herself, I'm glad she called Trump, and I think that's good. But she herself, I mean, she talks about the bloodbath, which is not true. She talks about the fine people, which has been debunked. She talks about the dictator. She talks about the elimination of the Constitution. She talks about Project 2025. She talks about IVF. She talks about things.
She's quoting Trump.
All of this, the underpinning of their campaign is to radicalize a political base, okay? And now when something happens, oh, I called him up and we had a nice conversation. So as a Republican and speaking for Republicans, it makes me very angry that somehow it's Donald Trump's fault that he's been nearly shot twice.
Yeah, but Scott,
it's not.
Scott,
what I am simply saying is that in the wake of a second assassination attempt of Trump, we seem to be talking all about what Donald Trump is doing, but we're not giving any thought to the radicalization of a liberal political base through a series of comments that came from the president and the vice president themselves. And it's not just the threat to democracy. It's worse than that. They have said, they have taken this thing about the bloodbath out of context, and both of you must acknowledge that it's been taken out of context and repeatedly debunked. But when you tell your political base, Donald Trump wants to cause a bloodbath on the streets of America right before becoming a dictator and right before ripping up the U.S. Constitution, what do you expect is going to happen? And so I want Harris and Biden to say, you know what? The bloodbath thing, we shouldn't be saying it, but they're not going to do it.
Even dumb behind Abby Phillip here, again, the first video ever on the channel had Abby Phillip in it, actually having some common sense in that one video, literally one time, and probably the only time she actually has some good sense. But in this video, she absolutely didn't, because Abby, Scott Jennings wasn't saying what you were saying. He said that the whole bloodbath statement has been mischaracterized. It is a lie. It is false. And I'm honestly a little bit shocked that you even took the opportunity to admit that it's been mischaracterized, including by your own network. And you saw how the other panelists here are going to sit up here and try to defend and say, well, this is what Trump said. This is what Trump said. Again, in the example I gave, I'm going to kill it. Yeah, I'm going to pass the test, not I'm going to kill. Like, these people are idiots, they're liars and gaslighters. To think that you have to lie this badly in order to try to win an election is just astounding. That's why Kamala Harris is getting her ass kicked. The Teamsters didn't endorse her. There's a Hollywood union that didn't endorse her, as well as the auto workers. None of these unions are endorsing Kamala Harris.
It's interesting, Rudy, because is Trump seeing an increase in support across all of labor, do you think? Or is it just the Teamsters, or are you seeing it in your union as well?
Definitely seen it in my union. I'm a member of IATSE, and I'm in Hollywood Labor Union. We're seeing the rank and file in support of Trump. I'm seeing Trump stickers on trucks on the lot. The guys coming up to me asking me about, you know, what are the policies. We just have to remember that families, moms, and union laborers and family members have lost so much over the last 3.5 years.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they're supporting Trump in 2024.
So a shocking snub for Kamala Harris from the Teamsters Union. She has become the first Democratic candidate in nearly 30 years to lose its endorsement. The union releasing polling that found its members backed former President Trump over Harris nearly 2-1. David Marcus sums it up. Cutting off Joe Biden's ancient roots in the labor movement has left members a clearer choice between Harris and Trump, and it's bad news for the Veep. Mark Meredith following this at the White House. Mark, I talked to some Democrats yesterday who said they've already priced this in. They figured this might be happening, but it is significant. The first in 30 years.
Dana, it's certainly a headline that would have a critique on the vice president's record. Good morning to you. Both former President Trump and the vice president, though, sought this endorsement. But as you mentioned, the headline, for the first time in nearly 30 years, the group choosing not to back any of the presidential candidates. The Teamsters have 1.3 million members. Think delivery drivers, warehouse workers. They've got a group, but it also polled its own members to think where they stand. And it found that the majority are likely to vote for Trump. The group reporting 59% of its members are planning to vote for Trump over Vice President Harris, who had 34% support, 6% voting for other.
In the UAW, I'm doing an auto plant rally every week at a different auto plant in the Detroit area, Bill. We're hearing numbers higher than that. 65 or 70% of the UAW members are supporting Donald Trump because the very existence of our industry is at stake. Now, with Teamsters, there's always going to be trucking. There'll just be less of it, but it's an existential threat if Kamala Harris is elected president to the auto industry, because she said she wants no gasoline-powered vehicles by 2035. Well, that will completely annihilate the domestic auto industry, and we'll be dealing strictly with Chinese-made vehicles within 5 or 10 years.
Imagine trying to say that you're going to have an electric vehicle mandate and then being shocked when auto workers don't want to vote for you. They're not going to have no damn job, Kamala. Not that she cares about that. You know the reason why they keep making all these ridiculous mistakes and why they keep having to lie about everything is because they don't have anything to go off of. They don't care about the people. So when they're doing stuff like the EV mandates, they think like, oh, what's the wokest thing we could do? That's how Kamala thinks. The wokest thing we could do. Well, climate change. Let's go that direction. I know, no gas-powered vehicles. That'll work. And then, well, you're going to kill the whole auto industry. Huh. I hadn't thought about that. It's because Kamala Harris doesn't think. She doesn't think. Think, Kamala. Use your head. People need jobs in America. What are they going to have? Clean energy jobs or something? What are they going to just move from building gas-powered vehicles to electric-powered vehicles only? What about the rest of the world that's still going to be using gas vehicles? If you're going to try to negotiate something, don't just try to lead by example. Try to make sure that we're not setting ourselves up for failure, and you're going to screw over millions of American workers in the process. There's millions of people. When you combine all these unions together, millions of people around the nation, and to try to lie and try to claim that this lady's an idiot. You're bringing extra attention to the bloodbath comment because it was about auto workers. And now more and more people are going to see this, which hopefully they do. Share this video for those who are watching. Be sure to drop likes, and then YouTube pushes it out more. So if you watch videos, make sure you always drop likes, comment. You don't matter if you drop 10 comments, 20, do whatever you got to do, because people need to see this and understand that your life is literally on the line. Donald Trump's life is obviously on the line. They're trying to kill this man over this ridiculous incendiary rhetoric. And on top of that, they're trying to kill the American people too, because you're not going to be able to afford anything. You're pretty much going to be stuck on a government teat. And that's going to be your only hope. Soon they'll have everybody voting Democrat because there's just not going to be enough capital and jobs and resources to go around. You'll have to steal it from somebody else. That's basically all taxes are, is they just steal somebody else's money who's rich and just give it to somebody who's needy. Soon we're all going to be just feeding off of the government in the Democrats, because, I mean, how the hell are you going to get a job if the Democratic regime keeps destroying everything and lying about everything? They're going to take over the media. You've already pretty much destroyed the economy. Next, it's taking over the media, so you could pretty much kiss people like me goodbye. It's just going to be CNN, MSNBC, and ABC going to be the only people out there. And you can forget about conservatives ever winning. You can forget about making any serious capital, because you're never going to make any serious money in an economy where everything costs like a freaking bajillion dollars. And rest assured that just like how people are coming after Donald Trump, if you start having your opinions go public with this type of incendiary rhetoric where they're just making stuff up, bloodbath, dictator on day one, whatever they want to say, you have a bumper sticker on your car, rest assured these people are coming after you too. the government may even come after you as well. There's presidential immunity that's not just applicable to President Trump. You know, it's Joe Biden and Kamala Harris would have immunity too, and they'd be within their right to come after people who they felt like were spreading mis and disinformation, including up to killing those individuals. And do you think, considering how radical the Democrats are, that they would hesitate to use this type of power and control? I actually trust Donald Trump with his presidential immunity, but this administration that lies as much as they do, oh, hell no. They need to get the hell up out of there, because, look, the Supreme Court decision for Donald Trump was great and all in terms of getting him out of this BS, a bunch of these BS cases that they got, but I don't trust these people that's in office right now, and I certainly wouldn't trust Kamala Harris, as weak as she is, all the hiding from the press and all of this ridiculous stuff that she's been doing. No, she need to get the hell up out of there. Stop the nonsense. Stop the Hitler. Stop the dictator on day one. Stop the bloodbath. Stop the termination of the Constitution. Lies. Fake news media. Stop your lying ass stuff too, because they're the ones who lie the most. They lie on behalf of the Kamala Harris regime, the Marxist communistic regime. They lie on their behalf each and every single day and get exposed on this channel. You keep lying, I keep posting. It's that simple. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate y'all watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
They have tried to kill this man twice, okay? He got shot in the ear, and this guy was sitting up shop outside of a golf course to try to kill him this weekend. What I want Democrats to do, honestly, is to say, it's okay. Like, if Donald Trump wins, democracy will not end, the Constitution will not end, we're not going to live in a dictatorship, there will not be a bloodbath. All the things they say that are totally fabricated, to me, it would be a good day to stop doing that.